tragic state. I longed to find a brighter place, somewhere full of love and grace. I dream of fields with a cool ocean breeze, a home for my own family. When I got my wish, I pinched myself to make sure this home was real. They sent for a boy, but then I was a girl. My dreaming had just let me down again. If I came as a queen with long ebony hair, then maybe they'd feel I was worth it for them. I'm a good worker in spite of my talking. I've longed to belong here for all of my life. Don't send me away without seeing what I see. Everything I touch is full of delights. I'll do my best to not let you down. I can imagine a world full of joy. Just give me your hand and I'll teach you to hope. You'll find that I've something worthwhile. Just let me stay here and I'll love you forever. I promise a life full of smiles.
What a fine collection of prizes.
And just think, tomorrow afternoon, those ribbons and trophies will be handed out to the best of the best at Avonlea's annual corn fair. Although, why it's not called a plain old summertime fair, I certainly don't know.
It's called the Corn Fair because it's held at the old cornfield, Anne.
There you go, ladies. Nothing like shaved ice to beat the heat.
Phew.
I'd simply burst if I ever won a prize. Imagine being the very best at anything.
I myself am quite familiar with the experience. Only problem is, I haven't decided what to be best at this year.
We all know which prize you have your eye on, Anne.
It would be delicious to win the blue ribbon for best taffy.
Really? I think I might like to win that ribbon too.
Why, Felicity King, you only say that because you know I want it. Felicity, I'm most profoundly sorry.
That's okay, Anne. Accidents happen. Oops.
That wasn't an accident. You did that on purpose.
Oh, girls, stop this horseplay at once.
You, Felicity!
Now look what you've done.
I'm most terribly sorry, Mr. Lawson. I'll pay for any damage.
No, Anne. My niece started at Mr. Lawson, and she will be happy to work in your store until she's paid for the damage she's caused.
Me? Work in a general store? I can't. I won't.
Felicity, you have been a wild prankster all day. This will teach you to behave yourself.
But I have to make taffy for the competition.
I'll show you where I keep the broom, Felicity.
You're going to regret this, Anne Shirley. That blue ribbon is mine.
Looks like the taffy competition just heated up, and not because of the weather. Sorry I'm late. I had to stop at Lawson's General Store.
It wouldn't have anything to do with a certain blue ribbon on display, now would it?
Oh, Matthew, I'd give the moon and the stars to win first prize in the taffy competition.
With hopes like that, no one deserves it more.
Diana, your lemonade booth is a brainwave to beat the heat wave.
Thanks. How's your taffy coming?
Diana, I fear my hopes are dashed.
What's wrong?
Felicity wants to win the blue ribbon, too.
Oh, I've had Felicity's taffy before, and it was quite delicious.
It is a sticky situation indeed. But I think I know what to do.
pretty dress, Felicity. Flattery will get you nowhere. Blue is such a common color. I think you'd look so much better winning this yellow quilting ribbon or this red ribbon for best jams and jellies. You can talk till you're blue in the face, Anne, but I'll win that taffy ribbon if it's the last thing I do.
Hello, Anne. Back for supplies?
I need some sugar, Mr. Lawson.
With all the corn fair baking, I've had to order extra. Felicity can help you while I finish loading in.
There isn't enough sugar in Avonlea to make the judges sweet on you, Anne Shirley. This bee sure thinks I'm sweet. A bee? Get it away from me! Get it away! You mustn't make a bee angry. Whatever you do, stay calm. Shoo, bee, shoo! Get away! Get away! Get it away! Shoo! Shoo! Thank you. Now, how may I help you? 2 pounds of sugar, please. 2 pounds of sugar. Coming up. Anything else? Why, Felicity King, you wouldn't be trying to learn my taffy recipe, would you? I appreciate this, Diana. Anything to help you win the blue ribbon. Sugar. Sugar. Orange syrup. Syrup. Spoon. Your taffy's gonna be hard to miss, Anne. Look at that color! If I want to be the best of the best, I have to make the sweetest, stickiest, stretchiest, most colorful taffy in history. Better even than Felicity King's. And your orange taffy is gonna knock everyone off their feet. This should shade your lemonade.
You'd better tie an anchor knot just in case.
In case of what?
In case Peg Bowen makes another storm like last year.
Peg Bowen can't change the weather.
Oh, yeah? You should have been here last year.
There wasn't a cloud in the sky.
Peg Bowen was upset because Rachel Lynn called her hot-tempered.
Always around. Then, as soon as she left, in rolled these storm clouds.
It was a storm so strong it nearly blew Avonlea off the map.
I tell you, it was the strangest and worst storm I've ever seen. And all started by Peg Bowen.
Just to be on the safe side, we'd better not make her mad this year.
Just so long as she doesn't rain out the three-legged race.
Why?
You aren't the only one with your eye on a prize, Anne.
We've been practicing for weeks.
How about we have some taffy to fortify us? Sorry. This taffy is so dangerously delicious, if we ate even one piece, we'd be helpless to stop ourselves from devouring the whole plateful. You mean you haven't even tested it? I don't have to. The sorrel mare is my taste tester. Everyone loves your lemonade, Diana. Oh, I only hope I don't run out.
Oh, my.
Glass of lemonade to cool you down, Miss King?
Thank you, Anne. The only thing that will really cool things down is a summer rain.
Want to come see the best of the best, Anne?
Oh, the contest is about to begin.
Before we decide about Avonlea's best taffy, I remind you that none of us knows whose candy we are tasting.
Excuse me.
The names are hidden under each plate.
I'm just faint with anticipation.
The winning taffy must excel in 3 categories. Taste, stickiness, and stretchability. Now, who will be next?
Oh,
What a color! Oh. Oh, this taffy! It's loaded with salt!
That has to be Anne's taffy.
Why, it is Anne's taffy. But how did you know that?
It's as orange as her hair.
you! You were the one who sold me salt instead of sugar.
I did not.
Fact, you were angry with me for having to work at the general store. Fact, you said you'd do anything to win the blue ribbon. Fact, you sold me that salt.
But I didn't know that...
So you say, but the facts tell a different story, Felicity King. You are responsible.
And she's very irresponsible for playing such a silly prank.
But I'm innocent. Why won't anyone believe me?
There's nothing about this in the rule book. Still, in light of the facts, I fear the judges have no option but to disqualify Felicity King from the taffy competition.
This fair is unfair.
Oh, Matthew, I was so sure my taffy was delicious, but I let overwhelming pride prevent me from tasting it.
Now, don't despair. It is a lovely color.
Oh, I wanted to be the very best at something. Instead, I'm the very worst taffy maker ever. I'm going to get Felicity for her taffy prank, and when I do, revenge will be sweet. Of all the rotten things she's done, this has to be the worst, and all the time pretending to be innocent.
I'm innocent. I've pulled some good pranks, but this is not one of them. Except thanks to Anne, no one believes me.
She did it on purpose. I know it.
You'll pay for this if it's the last thing you do.
Oh, shoo, Bee. You don't want any of this taffy. It's full of salt. It's going to take all my strength of character not to pull Felicity's ponytail. Ugh. Imagine anyone protesting her innocence when the facts prove she's guilty.
Ouch!
Oh dear, I'm very sorry.
Look where you're going. Are you trying to make the bees angry?
I didn't mean to.
Oh, don't listen to him. He's been grumpy ever since he was a twig.
Huh, you'd be grumpy too with a head full of angry bees.
Why are the bees angry?
Someone stole their honey.
Here we go again. I tell you, old boy, you've got no proof. Next, you'll be telling me this little girl here did it.
Me?
Now that you mention it, she does look familiar. Excuse me while I consult. Oh, bee! What say you?
Surely you don't recognize me. This is very unfair.
It's a fact that you were sitting under the beehive for some time.
Well, yes, I was thinking, but...
And it is also a fact that your friend was chased by a bee.
Who, Felicity? Yes, but...
And it's a fact that you vowed sweet revenge.
But not to the bee. You're jumping to conclusions.
Impossible.
Preposterous.
My dear girl, trees can't jump.
You willows aren't listening. You mentioned some of the facts, but you're missing other more important facts.
Then how do you explain those sticky fingers?
Uh-oh. Angry bees.
Wait! Whoa! I can explain. My hands are sticky because I was pulling Taffy, not stealing honey. See? Only Taffy. You were jumping to conclusions, that's all.
Oh no! Just as I was getting some peace and quiet.
It's a good thing I could give them all the facts before they judged me. Except that's precisely what I didn't do for Felicity. I was so sure she did it, I never listened to her side of the story, and now I may have made a terrible mistake. It's mortifying to even think it, but maybe the facts are wrong, and Felicity shouldn't have been banned from the fair.
You're saying Felicity might be innocent?
Yes!
Here, have a glass of lemonade. Mr. Lawson just brought me extra sugar from his store. Too much sugar?
No, Diana, it's salty.
Salty?
You know what this means. Come on!
Very strange. I'm always careful never to mix up the bags. Clear labels, see? Salt and sugar.
Except it's sugar and salt. Someone switched the labels.
Felicity!
No! Me! It must have happened when Felicity was being chased by that bee. Felicity didn't give me salt on purpose. She thought it was sugar. She was telling the truth.
Well, I'm glad that's sorted out.
Things aren't sorted out at all. I've got to find Felicity. This is all my fault.
Please tell us where she went.
I can't.
But I've made a horrible mistake.
Felicity will kill me if I tell you she's gone to the haunted wood to make Big Bow and rain out the fair.
Uh-oh.
Good thinking, numbskull.
The haunted wood, you say?
Hey, watch it.
Oof. You two are as bad as the patriarchal willows.
The who?
Never mind. The only thing that matters is that I get Felicity's Taffy back in the competition before they hand out the prizes.
Wait, what about the three-legged race?
Sorry, Diana. There's nothing so desperate as being wrongly accused. I've simply got to find Felicity. Time is running out.
Accuse me of a prank, will they? Well, I'll show them a prank. Too bad I won't be there to see the look on Anne's face when Peg Bowen dumps cold water on her and the rest of those hotheads. Except there's only one problem. I don't actually know the way to Peg Bowen's shack.
Oh, I want to go home.
And Shirley, what are you doing here?
Felicity, can you ever forgive me? I know you were telling the truth. I've come to take you back to the corn fair so we can set the record straight.
Why are you helping me?
I know what it feels like to be wrongly accused.
You do?
It's a long story. Right now we've got to get out of here. The haunted wood is no place to be.
Oh.
Especially during a summer storm. More sarsaparilla tea?
No thanks.
If I was a curious sort of person, I might ask what you two girls were doing out in a storm.
Well, I'm very curious, and what I want to know is why you made the storm in the first place.
Oh, wouldn't we all? Won't you tell us how you do it?
All I'll say is, there's always a big storm after a hot spell.
You mean we may have jumped to conclusions?
Perhaps.
Well, it looks like the storm is past.
And not a minute too soon. We'll have to hurry if we want to make it back in time to put things right.
Now that the rain has stopped, we can award the last of the Corn Fair prizes. It gives me great pleasure to award this year's blue ribbon for Taffy to...
Marilla! Wait!
Goodness, child, what is it now?
There's been a mistake. Felicity didn't play a prank. It was an accident. When you consider all the facts, you'll see that she deserves to be reconsidered.
Accident? There's nothing about this in the rule book either.
If Anne thinks Felicity's Taffy should be re-entered, then that's good enough for me.
Especially if it means tasting more delicious taffy.
Oh, very tasty.
And very sticky.
And quite the stretchiest taffy we've seen all day.
I think I speak for the other judges when I say the blue ribbon for Avonlea's best taffy goes to Felicity King.
I'm sorry you didn't win the blue ribbon, Anne.
And I'm sorry you didn't win a trophy. I just know we could have beaten Gilbert and Felix.
Who says we didn't?
How?
Marilla's not only famous for her taffy, you know.
Marilla?
Well, what good are all these years of hard farm work if I can't run a three-legged race?
I'm sorry about your taffy, Anne.
That's okay. My taffy wasn't a complete flop. It brings new meaning to the idea of saltwater taffy.
Read the inscription, Diana.
This trophy celebrates the spectacular and humiliating defeat of Gilbert Blythe and Felix King in the three-legged race.
Does it really say that?
At Avonlea's annual corn fair. Although why it's not called Good Old Summertime Fair, we certainly don't know.
Ah, very funny.
It's the last of the taffy, Felicity. You want a taste?
You wouldn't be trying to feed me something truly awful, would you?
Why, Felicity King. You'll have to check out the evidence before jumping to any conclusions.